Yeah, I don't think Norris is a lone striker. He's not like Norwood could do it on his own because he could go and get the ball. He could create chances on his own. It's not Norris's game. And in his defence, I don't think he's been getting the service that he needs. I mean, he's a big, old school centre forward, and even playing with wingers, we've not really been getting the ball to him in the place he can cause damage. He's much more effective, I think, when he's got somebody on his shoulder that he can lay it off to, the kind of big man, little man thing, if you like. And I think that really came into play yesterday. I thought the number of knockdowns he did was really good. And in fact, he could have had a hat-trick himself quite easily on another day. So, no, I agree entirely. I like a two up front. Horses for courses, depending who you're paying and who else is fit in the team around you and so on. But I think it plays to his strengths more if he's not isolated on his own.
And the same goes for Connor, right? Connor is not someone who is going to do all that running. He doesn't have that. He's never had the pace to trouble a defender like a Norwood has. He has guile and craft, and he's a very good finisher if you get the ball to him in the right area, as we saw yesterday. And he is someone who can actually pick up the right positions on the pitch, but you've got to play him in a two. And we've seen him messed around with a little bit this year, I think, and I've been slightly concerned by the number of Tranmere fans who've been writing him off based on what we've seen. But we've seen him play central midfield. We've seen him play left wing. We've seen him play just behind the striker. At times he's popped up on the right wing. Seen him play as a striker on his own. You're not playing to the lad's strengths, and that's why we're not seeing the best out of some of these players. And the same goes for a number of other players in the squad, by the way, who I believe we haven't seen the best out of in a Tranmere shirt because we haven't played to their strengths. Christian Dennis would be one who we clearly haven't played to the best that he wants to play. But for Connor, I mean, another goal, a vital one at that. I think that's now 52 for the club, who erroneously tweeted that he got his 50th against Oldham. That was his 51st. So he's on to 52 now. I mean, the lad was already a cult hero. He was already a legend for what he did in his first spell, but he's only further enhancing his status.
Yeah, I mean, I never went along with his legs have gone to hysteria that was coming from some of our family. Some of the fans were talking about him like he's the family Labrador whose legs have gone and whiz him off to the vets. He's finished. He has been pushed and pulled around this season, as you say. I mean, you can't always play to everybody's strengths individually because, you've got an entire team to set around it, so you make the best of the collective. But given how influential he is on the whole, the whole entity, the more you can play around him and work to him, the better, I think. And he's coming back to where he was, I think. I think he's a long way from finished. I mean, like you say, he's not got the pace, but he's never had the pace. But he's got the nous to be able to be in the right position at the right time. I mean, I watched the goal back this morning on the highlights. That run he makes in behind, he must have started making that run as soon as Patrick disrupted the play down the left-hand side and the ball came looped over the top to him. He knows where to go. He's an intelligent player. And I think if you can, the more you can play up to his strengths as much as anybody else's, the better, I think, because I think he's still got a lot to offer this year.
I saw a really good tweet about Connor from Leon Kearney, who says, Connor Jennings is the closest I've seen since Goody in terms of embodying Tranmere. We're starting to see signs of his legs not quite being what they used to be, but he loves us, and I love him, and long may it continue. I mean, he is everything you could wish for, right?
Yeah, he's the closest, I think, you've got to a manager's dream, isn't he? He's obviously really hard working, he's committed, he's dedicated, he drags people along with him, and he is one of our better players. And thankfully, he's scoring this season, because if you take his goals out, we'd be even more trouble, I think. But I think he's very, very influential anyway. But this season, probably more so, even though we are where we are in the league, his impact on the team this year has probably been greater than it ever has.